Ladies and gents, welcome back. Hey. Looks like there's a lot of people in the chat already. Holy cow, lots of people waiting to get this show going. Friday night show, again, happening. Didn't happen last week. Pushed it off till Saturday. Had an impromptu day at the lake last Friday, and that was courtesy of the boss. That was boss's orders. The boys at the shop shut down. We're going to the lake. But this week, we're doing the usual Friday thing because here we are. It's Friday evening. For those of you that are just tuning in after the fact, this is the live show. You're watching the long form content that happens live every Friday night at 6:30 Pacific time. Check your local listings. I think that's 9:30 Eastern. And yeah, we hang out. We go over some of the news stories that I couldn't get to or wasn't able to elaborate on, or maybe there was new developments on throughout the week. And we do this in a live fashion, usually somewhere between in the ballpark of an hour and a half and 2 hours. Do what we can. There's so much to cover all the time. The way I do my videos, for those that are new to the channel, I do my videos in the morning, way in the wee hours of the morning before I go to work. Get it all done, and then I go to work, and I work 8 hours wrenching on cars, fixing people's automobiles, and then I come home and I raise a family with a beautiful wife and 2 kids. So I got a busy life. Whoa, max power with a busy life. Derek, you didn't have to. Holy cow. $125 super chat. Looks like your button isn't fixed yet. Do something, Clyde, or don't. I'm good either way. Well, let's start the show with a bang. This government needs an enema. Yes. Wow, I could buy them one with that. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Starting it off with a bang. Holy. Big old one. And that's my good friend Derek. Max Power, the author of, well, in mine, I have now a signed copy of The Prime Minister Who Stole Freedom, available on Amazon. Go check it out. It is an excellent read. It's a lot of fun. Lots of fun there. But hey, why don't we get into some of this stuff? What was I talking about? I got distracted there. Holy Max, exactly. So this is the live stream format. So you can, if you're watching this afterwards, you can look at the chat. YouTube does a replay of the chat, so you can see all the people chatting as the video is going, or you can just listen to it while you're wrenching on something, working, or doing whatever it is that you do, gardening. Who knows? I don't know what you do. Just try to avoid getting in the pod and eating your bugs. That's what we're all trying to do here anyway, and that's why people are tuning in, because this is what we do on this channel. They're informing people of basically what's happening in this country, but not just this country of Canada, but around the world. It seems like Canada is one of the hotbeds, I guess, starting zones. This is where the World Economic Forum is testing the waters in certain aspects, and there's testing the waters in other aspects in other places. And we're pretty much the canary in the coal mine for the rest of the free world, for our brothers and sisters down south of us. Be very wary of what's coming down the pike, because this is the future of the world that is at stake here. Plant a big garden, grow indoor all winter. I don't know how I could grow indoor. I guess you could get the lights, but yeah, price of energy is definitely going to be going up. But yeah, we can get into some of that. But hey, welcome everybody joining in. I usually give a few minutes before I get into any of the news stories, because notifications take a moment to get passed out to all those people. I notice some people jump in as soon as they see the notification in the Discord, or they see a notification on Twitter. Let me know in the chat, where did you see the notification that we are going live? Put that in the chat now, and let me know where you're getting that information, or if you got your notification from YouTube, let me know. Not everyone's on the social medias. I know there's a lot of people that watch the show but don't hang out on any of the things. One thing I do like to do after the live streams, though, I go hang out in the Discord. Discord's a great community building type social media platform where you're not on the greater internet. You have certain communities, and you join a community, and then you can chat with the people within the community. We have a great community going on. We also have a new role entered for members of the YouTube channel. If your YouTube and Discord are connected, then you'll have that special role if you're a member of the channel. And there's a member button down below somewhere here to sign up for that. But we have that going on in the Discord. But every week, and this is not open to only members, this is open to anybody who wants to join. It's free. Get in the Discord, but we hang out, have a couple of wobbly pops after the Friday night live streams. That is a thing that we do. That's a thing that we do. So I see a number of people have filed in here to check out the stream. Why don't we get into some of the stuff going on? I'm gonna start with some of the memes. There's some really good ones this week. Coming out of a lot out of the Discord, some out of Twitter, and just other places I've been seeing them. But yeah, someone donated $125, my man. It was cool. Max Power definitely stepping it up. Holy cow. Putting the fire on this evening. Wow. Anyway, let's get into this. The future. I love this one. So there's a mug obviously sold somewhere. The future is something, but it's reduced for quick sale at this moment. That's where we're at, folks. Currently at this late stage of the game. I love these memes, the ones with the Wojak characters. But yeah, this is the... you can't see it because I'm covering it with my webcam here, but she's got... There you go. She got it. This one's got a glass of wine and a cell phone. Can't stay off of that smartphone. Don't homeschool your kids. Don't homeschool because I don't want my kids to be weird. And I always hear this all the time. Kids will be weird if you homeschool them. But I've met homeschooled kids and or adults that were homeschooled as kids, and they seem fine. So I think maybe that's a myth. But yeah, your 10-year-old daughter is on multiple medications for depression and anxiety and is twerking in the middle of lunch, Janet. So yeah, maybe stay away from some of these stereotypes about that. Now this one killed me. This one destroyed me today. If you don't know, Alex Jones is being sued right now, and this is gonna blast people's ears out, so I'm gonna turn that down a little bit. Right now, Alex Jones is being sued for stuff that he said during the I'm not even gonna say I'm not even gonna mention it. The YouTube overlords don't like to hear it. But anyway, he's being sued for some stuff, for things that he said. Defamation, yeah, it's a defamation suit. He's being sued for in a civil court. But just this bomb drop, it just killed me. 42.5 million, crazy. Was there a verdict? I don't know. Anyway, this is something that was said in the court, and somebody built this compilation. It just kills me.
One of the things you've been talking about on your show is your allegation that government officials are aiding in pedophilia, child trafficking, and the grooming of children, right?
Well, you mean like what Jeffrey Epstein did with the Clintons?
Oh, snap.
It's ridiculous. Oh my God. One of the things you...
That killed me. That killed me today. I was drinking my coffee when I saw that and spit half of it out. Amazing. I love the memes. I love the memes coming out of these places. $4 million lawyers asked for $42.5 million. Crazy. Crazy. We got this is the Nancy Drew mystery stories, the case of the Wuhan lab leak by Mike Yedon. Yedon. Oh, I don't know how to pronounce that. That one killed me. That one definitely killed me. The war on drugs. Yeah, and there's the drugs just sneaking right through there. Perfect. Perfect. If you got any good memes, put them in the memes channel in the Discord. The link is in the description down below. You can always join it in. This this one's funny. I'm just gonna let it play. If you understand the meme, then you'll understand the meme. If not, if you haven't played any of these these warring games, maybe you wouldn't get it, but
Establishing video uplink.
Have some courage and some fortitude. Man the barricades and keep the degenerates away from the children.
okay, so that kills me. That's Jordan Peterson, obviously. But in those strategy war games, you often get like a little clip that pops up with an actor saying a thing, and yeah, I'm over explaining it. That's just too funny. What else we got here? Oh, member for 4 months, Jelly Duck. Thank you so much. Happy 3 months ago. Cheers, buddy. Cheers. That's really cool. That's really cool. Man, the barricades. That's right. Don't let the degenerates through. They'll never see that 4 million silly civil suits. Yeah, I heard some weird thing that the individuals that were suing didn't even know that he said these things. Weren't aware of it until they pursued the thing being said. So like it's kind of hard to declare that they had. Anyway, that's for Viva Fry to cover. He's the law guy. He's the law guy. Don't let Gen Z through. WEF wants the world pop down to 1 billion in 2050. That's their plan. That's their plan. Yeah, I don't agree with the overpopulation thing. Anyway, going over to Twitter, we got rare footage of Chrystia Freeland gathering facts to invoke the Emergencies Act. There she is, reaching for them. Oh, pulling them straight out of her. Gathering facts. Just gathering facts, folks. We've got I put this one out there. Just parking here for the comments and the ratio. Chrystia Freeland tweeted this out. Unbelievably. I mean, how tone deaf can you be? Well, I mean, is she tone deaf? She doesn't realize what she did, what she said, what's going on here. But so she's been meeting with all these industrial leaders all over the place, whatever, for whatever reasons, trying to get lobbying money from everybody. But she goes and meets up with the trucking industry and then makes this tweet, completely just mind-blowing after what she did. Truckers and trucking companies are essential to our economy, she says. That's why our government has been working so hard to keep our trucking industry strong. And there she is doing her weird can't keep still movements. I really don't know what kind of roofies she's on. But yeah, she's meeting with people that she doesn't care anything about. How could I soak finance money out of these people? How do I soak it out of them? But yeah, that's her. That's her campaigning. Yeah, exactly. Hypocrite. She's an Adderall addict. Is that true? Because she loses it all the time. She's constantly like twitchy, grabbing at stuff, doing scratching and whatever, can't keep still. Like, just really something absolutely wrong with her. I honestly believe it's the demons trying to poke out, the demons trying to escape. There's just so many in there. Clyde, yes, please do something. I'm working on it, man. I'm working on it. Oh my God. It's gotta be me drugs. It's gotta be drugs. Yeah, it's gotta be drugs. I can't explain it otherwise, unless it's, yeah, like I said, unless it's demons. Demons, you know, could very well be demons. We've got this classic meme. Nothing happened in Tiananmen Square. STFU if you want to keep your liver. It's a play on the old Steven Crowder meme. You are more right, I think. Demons poking out. Yeah, probably. They're just trying to get out there. They're like, oh, this vessel is too cramped. It's horrible. There's so many of us in here. There's just way too many demons in this one vessel. What do we got here? How to pretend to be indoctrinated enough so you can stay out of the re-education camps. Yeah. That might be a handy how-to book coming up. Don't know. She can't stand still. Revelations 12:17. She can't stay still. Oh, you guys are awesome. She is Legion. Oh, wow. Yeah, no, there's just too many demons in there. There's way too many. Way too many. It's a natural skill. What else we got here? White House hires It's Fine Dog as new press secretary. That makes a lot of sense. I don't know if the other one's been working out. I saw some other pictures in the memes. Holy cow, you guys are all adding way more memes already as it's going. Please share this, Gem. I shared this one on YouTube. In the communities tab, but yeah, let's give this one a share. Our government is racist, corrupt, and bought by corporations. But if we give them more money, they'll fix the weather. That's right. That's right. That's how we get this done. Remember how she was when Trudeau put the Emergencies Act? She was like, she had bugs crawling all over her. She probably did. It's probably the demons as they're getting out, trying to get out. They're giving her visions of Hades, and she just getting squirmy, the visions of Hades. Jeez, what are we always end up elaborating in these, but yeah, Joe Biden having a hard time with this secretary at the moment. Yeah, just not doing so hot these days, but that's a thing. Moving on. UN declares war on dangerous conspiracy theories. The world is not secretly manipulated by global elite. What an odd thing to say. What an odd thing to say. It's weird. It's weird when propaganda is like not that good. They just come out and say the thing, and they're like, no, it's not the thing that you just everybody can clearly see is the thing that's happening, you know? Like the world being manipulated by a global elite. Kind of gives it away when they all have the same dates, you know what I mean? You go into Canada and they're like, we're going to reduce nitrogen by 2030. You go to by 50%. You go to the Netherlands, we're going to reduce nitrogen by 30 or by 50% by 2030. You go to Ireland, we're gonna reduce nitrogen by 30%, and then you go to the World Economic Forum, and they're like, yeah, we're in the cabinets. We penetrated the cabinets. The Grand Q-tip, Cotton Schwab, out there telling everybody how he's letting everyone know what's in the sausage. You can't make this up. You really can't. Okay, I wanted to share this one with you guys because this is I've been trying to remember to show you guys this one for forever. I don't know why I keep forgetting, but this is a legit ad that I see on Twitter all the time. It comes up all the time, and I'm not gonna play the music because get these copyright strikes all the time for playing these things with the music going. But copper, it's a Tech Resources advertisement. Copper has natural antimicrobial properties. When you see it in public spaces, you can feel safer. Why? Because you've been propagandized. For those that have been propagandized, why are you playing the music? I turned it off. There we go. For those of you that have been propagandized, you can feel safe. Look at these people. So I don't live in Ontario or Quebec. Do people actually behave like this? I see people occasionally in masks in British Columbia, and I just picture that this is kind of their behavior. If you're still wearing a mask at this point, really? Can we go over this? So woman is afraid to touch the thing that's probably been rained on all afternoon. She's got an umbrella. It's been rained on and washed clean by Mother Nature. But she's like, I don't know. I don't think I could touch that crosswalk. to cross. Obviously, you're in a rural area. You're not in a high trafficked area where a lot of people would be touching it, because then they would just not have those. In the cities, they don't even have these buttons, right? You only have these in the lower trafficked areas. But Ontario is ridiculous. Are you kidding? Seriously? Richmond is Mask City. Yeah, but are you talking about Richmond, BC? Because it always has been, because of the Asian population. They wear it when they get sick, not to get other people sick. That's how that's always been. But is it Mask City because of COVID freakiness or what? Nova Scotia, 20 to 30% were masked in grocery store. What? In British Columbia is unheard of. Like, people are like, no, why? Why would you do that? Yeah, it honestly is the occasional. Of course, this may be maybe a different thing in Vancouver though. Like Vancouver proper, there's a lot of whack jobs. Like, really, what? Victoria, BC is shifty too. Okay, I'll take your word for it there, Firefly. Yeah, it's a government town. Government towns are shifty. But we got this lady. So it's raining and I'm scared, and I have to sigh. And this woman is like, I don't mind getting COVID all over my clothing. But that's the logic of the masked people in current day that are afraid to touch anything because they, you had somebody serve you coffee. You're fine with that. You had, you're going into the office. You can't work remotely. No, you're going into the office with your suit on, and you're just like, I'm gonna rub COVID all over my clothing because that'll save me from inhaling some. And maybe Richmond equals rich man. What, rich man? Oh, well, yeah, a lot of Richmond men are, they swallowed the pill. They're deeply infested with propaganda. Unfortunately, Ontario is truly brainwashed. Unbelievable. I can't believe that people are still falling for this thing. I'll never understand face diaper people. Okay, a lot of us were forced to do it, but as soon as in British Columbia, put it this way, in Ontario they announced when they were gonna lift the mandates. In British Columbia, even blah, 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 what's her nuts? Bonnie Henry, when she made her announcement, she was like, effective now, you don't have to wear a mask. And she said, because if we made it effective a week later, everyone would just stop wearing the masks anyway. Because nobody wanted to wear them. Nobody wanted to wear them. They were only people that wore them were people that were forced to. And then people just disobeyed it anyway, right? That was the way it worked. That's British Columbia for you. Outside of Vancouver, of course. Outside of Nutsville, schizoid town, where you're either a libtard or a heroin junkie on methamphetamines or whatever. Yeah, an excuse to behave ugly towards people outside of the club. Absolutely. I found a lot of people, I've heard so many stories about people behaving horribly. Don't run into that much of that around here. I don't know, maybe because it's a little bit more rural. You're asking for it. This is a kind of an unspoken rule. It's like, I like all my teeth. I just don't speak ill to people. I don't behave badly. I do like my teeth, and I like to keep them in my head. I don't want to eat them, but that's just the thing. So this lady fumbling around, and this guy won't even touch his cart that he's put all of his luggage on. So all of his luggage is on this cart, but he's like, nah. I'm gonna, this is just ridiculous. Wow. And yeah, the shirt again with the clothing, I'm gonna put my clothing on it, but I won't, I'm terrified. And then these guys, they'll brush up against each other and get into an elevator together, but they don't want to push the button. Copper makes surfaces cleaner so everyone can feel safer. And then you don't have to worry. Get your grubby COVID hands all over that copper. I don't know why, but this ad has been running for months, and it keeps scrolling in my feed. And every once in a while, I'll go through the comments and I'll see somebody that I follow in the comments saying something. There's so many people just talking about, oh goodness, yeah, charts. It's debate land for people when it comes to this. Max Power, you haven't given enough tonight. Oh, the $10 super chat. I got a lot of looks during mandates because I had a silicone face hugger mask from Aliens that I used to wear to the stores just to show how much I cared. That's awesome. The face hugger mask. I didn't know you could get that. A silicone one as well on top of that. That's hilarious. I love those movies. But here we go. Elon Musk was was trending on Twitter. I clicked on it immediately thinking, awesome, Twitter move. No, there's nothing. No new news on the Twitter. A lot of people trying to hype up this thing that his data was bad because the tool that he used also counted his account as possibly a bot. But yeah, no new news on the thing. Apparently October is when we're going to be seeing the court case going for Elon Musk versus Twitter Inc., where they're like, buy us because we're worthless anymore because nobody believes that they're actual human beings on this platform. Elon trending on Twitter, get out of here. Yeah, right. That's a thing. The seventh wave is ending, LOL. I mean, how many of you actually got the COVID? I mean, I may have. I never tested positive, but I never bothered. I got it. I'm not going anywhere. I wasn't going anywhere, so I got sick, and I'm like, I'm just gonna treat it like I treat every other cold. Why not? I have. Nope. Me twice. Yes. Everyone in my family. Nope. Possibly before it started. Yep, I did. I had COVID twice, coughed a few times, and moved on. Yeah, I mean, so many people. Whatever. I mean, it's not even that. I'm sure it affected some people, but like a very, very, very small amount of people, which is absurd for the response that we got and are still living with to this day. Anyway, here's that one thing that Elon was noteworthy in saying today, and he was on some podcast. I don't recall what it is. I'm gonna end up checking it out and watching it later, but I didn't even know he was on one. But this is Post Millennial posting this. Elon Musk, we got to get out of this nonsense. We got to get rid of this nonsense that we have an overpopulation issue. We have an underpopulation issue, he says.
It's just we got to get rid of this nonsense that we're having an overpopulation issue. We have an underpopulation issue. It's just we got to get.
And well, I agree with that. The math just does not add up. It sounds like another one of those death cults where it's like, everybody, the petri dish is about to overfill. We're not factoring in anything else except this one little tiny mathematical equation that didn't pan out. Apparently by the year 2000, we were going to be overrun and all starving. Turned out in the year 2000, we had less starvation than ever in human history and more people. That was a thing. And then it kept going until the recent times, and the coming food shortages are all man-made. They're not a product of overpopulation. They're a product of poor economics, to the likes that we've seen from Chairman Mao and from Joseph Stalin, Vladimir Lenin. Economic principles that just do not work. We most recently saw in Venezuela. And yeah, hey, 444 listening. That's a very positive number. Yes, it is a positive number. Amazingly, today we hit 888. That was a thing for the YouTube subscriptions. unbelievably, we're at 88,888. We hit that today. I'm not sure what the live number is. It's somewhere up there. I could maybe pull it up. Let's see. YouTube channel, my channel. Here we go. It just says 88.9. Come on. You got some real numbers for me? You got some real numbers? 88,938. Holy cow, and climbing. Oh, it's amazing. It's amazing. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate all of you guys that tune in, hang out, check out the videos, and have been checking out the channel and finding out what's happening in Canada. But not only in Canada, all the things that are most important to me, and these are the stories that I cover, mostly have to do with working class people and what's going to be happening to us in the future. That's the main focus, I think, of what's going on my channel here. You can check elsewhere if you care about the I don't know, hoity-toity white collar worker news, or not workers, I mean white collar rich people news. Check out something else. But yeah, working class channel here all the way. I think you are Darren. I'm not Darren. Maybe you're talking to somebody in the chat. But yeah, I get that sometimes. People are like, "Oh, what's your real name?" No, my name's Clyde. It's not a pseudonym. It's not a other what do you call it? Stage name. That's the thing. Super cities that are going up. Yeah, we'll be talking about that tonight. That's definitely a big thing for me. But yeah, thank you so much to everybody who's been tuning into the channel, hanging out in the live streams, and engaging, making this the best community that the internet has ever seen. I can't believe it. You guys have done numbers. You've been all kinds of crazy stuff. Made some of the videos go viral. You made a book go viral. We sold. I don't even know how many copies yet. Derek, let the chat know how many copies you've sold of that book. That is insane. But it's you guys. It's you guys that we can thank for that. I'm just giving my opinion on stuff. You guys tune in, and that's the way you do it. You rock, Clyde. Thank you, Billy Gibsons. Chippy's ATV, thanks for the $20 super chat with the rock on signs. 3 emojis in a row. Nice. Patriots love Clyde. Thank you. But yeah, I mean, I'm just being real. These are the things that I care about in the world. You know, I want to make a good place for my kids growing up. I want my kids to have opportunities to do things, even opportunities that I don't have or I didn't have. I want those opportunities to be there for my kids and for your kids and everybody's kids, so we can all have good communities where we can have good food and not eat the bugs. That's really where I'm at. Let's check out some of this other stuff that's been happening. Elon Musk tweeted this out, and this one really got to me. People in U.S. jail for weed while the government trades a Russian war criminal for free to free a women's basketball player in jail for weed. Now, if you didn't catch this, there was a story in the news where some women's basketball player went to Russia and smuggled weed in. She was caught and subsequently is serving jail time because of this. Now, it's 420 somewhere, not in Russia, my friend. It's not in Russia. Thanks, Spawny420, for the 420 super chat. Really appreciate it. Nice timing with the story here. But yeah, there's I don't even have the news story popped up because I don't know all the juicy little tidbits of this story. All I know is that Biden's in negotiations with trading a Russian war criminal to get the freedom of this woman. Meanwhile, there's a war on drugs in the United States, and people are still in jail for the possession of weed, not even smuggling it into another country. I mean, because sorry, but let's be real. Let's be real here for a second. If you're going to go to another country, don't you think Smuggling drugs into another country might get you in some trouble. If you're going because you got like a basketball championship, or you're just going on a trip or something like that, yeah, you still got to think about it. Check the local listings on what the laws are. I mean, there's been movies made about this, about people going to places like Saudi Arabia and getting caught for contraband, or even alcohol there, because it's Sharia law. So you can't, if you're going to one of these places, make sure you know what the laws are, because you can't just go rocking up to a country with a big old bag of weed and then be like, well, I should be free. Like, no. Yeah, and this woman, she got 9 years. And I think that's harsh. I don't think that should be the law. I don't think that that's how things should be. But I'm not a Russian to vote in the elections or make the laws there. I'm a Canadian. I can affect the things in Canada. But I wouldn't ever think to go to Russia. But the moral of the story here is, I mean, I don't even know what to say about that person. But the fact is that there are people in jail in the United States for possession of weed. If you're gonna trade a Russian war criminal to free a basketball player for weed, you should just exonerate every single one of those people immediately. Like that should be step one. That should be step one. You can't go internationally and tell people that weed is good, okay? You can't do that and then have laws on your books and people in prison for the thing that you're freeing some, you know, and it's political expedience. I know this, but it just disgusts me. I can't stand the idea. But I mean, I don't think it's a good thing that she's in jail. But what are you gonna do? You went to a foreign country and you broke their laws. It's just the way it is. If it was like Singapore or something like that, you get flogged for stuff like. I think for weed, I think you just straight up go to jail. But you like spit on the ground, spit on the ground. You spit gum out or something in Singapore, you get flogged for it. There's a famous story about that. Some young guy who went over there and they tried to get him out, but no, they're like, not without flogging, and he got flogged. He got like some bamboo sticks across the ass. I mean, some people need some bamboo sticks across the ass, in my opinion. But I mean, that's here or there. It's not the way the law works here. Chippy's ATV with another $20 super chat. Thank you so much, my man. Let's thank Max Power and Clyde for making and promoting the heck out of the book. And for Max Power making milestones in history. Absolutely. That book is insane. It's insane. It's doing so well. I can't wait to see some of the new books that are coming out from the now incorporated company that the books are being published under. Well, they're being published under Amazon, but you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm looking forward to it. I really am. It's gonna be it's gonna be an interesting ride to watch that happen. What else? A little bit of the social media stuff before I get into some of the other things. Yeah, I put this one out there. This is why people like the guy. He says exactly what you were thinking, but the media and political types wouldn't allow to be said. And this is in response to DeSantis speaking. I'll just let him speak for himself.
They would shame people for even leaving their house in April, May 2020, and you can't do it. And some people wanted to bury loved ones. They wanted to do this. And the argument people were making is, well, wait a minute, I can look at the risk of COVID, and it's something that I'm willing to accept because these things mean more to me, to be able to bury a loved one or to be able to do things with my family. And the public health establishment, oh, no, you can't make that kind of cost-benefit analysis. Then, when the George Floyd riots were happening, they actually wrote a letter with thousands of these people signing it saying, we do not believe that rioting and protesting is bad for COVID, that you can do it. Go ahead. Because we think it's so important that you have to do it. And then they said, but this doesn't mean we support all protests. If you're protesting lockdown policies or other things, then you can't do that. And that's when I knew these people are a bunch of frauds. I mean, how ridiculous.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Just come out and say it. Come out and say it. DeSantis does rule, Mark. DeSantis rules. He's a piece of work. He's a piece of work. So for those of you that don't know Ron DeSantis, and I'm gonna turn this off because I'm actually getting cold now. Got the AC blowing on me, and whoa, it's been warm here. But yeah, DeSantis, the governor of Florida, during the COVID-19, when everybody was afraid of the common cold and everybody was locking down and governments were shutting people down, shutting businesses down, and telling people they can't work, they can't go to work, they can't operate a business, they can't do things. You have to buy this extra equipment just to keep the things going. You have to do this, you have to do that, you have to wear masks. You can enter these buildings, you can't enter those buildings. Then it became you gotta go under intervention, medical intervention, mandatory, or you lose your job. DeSantis, nuh-uh, not doing any of that. Nothing. None of it. None of it. Did not put up with it. I believe he was, weary in the beginning, as everybody should be, and anyone responsible would be. But straight up, nuh-uh. Nope, he's not doing it. He's 43 years old. He's only 3 years older than me. That's crazy. Unbelievable. Yeah, 79. Born in 70. Wow. That's amazing. But yes, he's straight up. Yeah, parks. They closed in California. They were putting sand in skate parks. Like, you're healthy young people that go and do cardiovascular for hours. You gotta stop them from doing their cardiovascular. Like skateboarding. I skateboarded for so many years, and it's healthy. It's a good thing to do. But yeah, that's what they were doing. Have you heard about the problems with the BC ferries now, Clyde? I'm gonna have to go look into that. I heard they fired their CEO because he had like 140 or 170 missed sailings in 1 month. Unbelievable. But yeah, I didn't know you could get fired from a crown corporation. Spawny 420, Clyde, you're old. Yeah, I am freaking old. That's a thing. Clyde, you're 40 with a face. Yeah. No, a lot of people don't believe that. I'm 40 years old. I just turned 40 this year. This is my year. Clyde, 40 is the new 25. That's how I've had time to read all these books, because I'm so dang old. That's the thing. I don't believe it. Believe it, brother. Believe it. It's a thing. Still a pup. Yeah, that's right. But yeah, DeSantis, what a dude. And a lot of people are looking at the next presidential elections and going, I wonder if DeSantis is actually our guy. Don't know. I started with the unpopular opinion of saying, Trump's a little old. Maybe he had a good run. He had a good go. Step over and let DeSantis take the win, because he's not gonna lose it if he's the guy running. And they don't have all the derangement over DeSantis yet. That it hasn't been developed yet. So we're not sure. So, but when I first suggested that, it was an unpopular opinion, and I see that it's now growing in popularity, that opinion, especially after all these like Jan 6 things. And see, some people don't trust Trump at all. Some people voted for Trump reluctantly because he's the only one speaking the truth, but they don't like him. Some people love him. there's a whole mix of people that voted for him, and for all different reasons. But I think my opinion, and it was an unpopular opinion until just recently, is I think DeSantis would probably be a shoo-in if he ran instead of Trump. Tempest says Trump should be DeSantis' social media manager. That's funny. That's funny. He's a nationalist, not a globalist. Yes. And there's nothing wrong with being a nationalist. I mean, like, if you run for government, you should be national interest should be your number one priority. If you're a federal government person, right? If you're a provincial government person, you should be a provincialist. Is there an issue with that? Would somebody call you a bad guy if I said I'm a provincialist? I really care about my province. My province is my number one priority, and obviously I care about Canada and whatever, but my province is definitely where I'm at. In fact, my community, my town is my number one issue. Am I a townist? Because I care about my town. Yeah, but if you're a nationalist, that's a big deal. Of course you should care about. And honestly, this is my opinion. I've always been a bottom up kind of dude. I think that's the whole macro scale stuff is just out to lunch. It's garbage. There's no different set of economic rules in the macro scale as opposed to the micro scale. No, everything starts first and foremost from the family. Then it moves on to community. Then it moves on to neighborhood. Then it moves into your town or your city, and then your province, and then your state, the nation. So yeah, you need to have strength at its core. You're not gonna have strength from the top down. It never works. It's never worked. Never ever. It may get you somewhere in the short run, but it's not gonna. You're not getting anywhere. Every time it's been tried, it ends up being expanded and worn so thin that the resources just wear out and you just have nothing. Clyde nails it. There you go. But this is my opinion. I think everything should be bottom up. Without a good foundation, you have nothing. You have absolutely nothing. And I think family is the crux of it. If you have good families, you'll have good communities, and good communities breed great municipalities. They breed great provinces, and they breed great nations. This is the way of the world. Absolutely. Family is the core. You have to have a tight family. Small scale inefficiency is food on your neighbor's table. Yeah. Economics work better that way too. I agree. I absolutely agree. I'm a fan of the Austrian school. I'm a fan of the Chicago school. But it's all about things. I mean, you couldn't start a company without capital, right? You wouldn't start a company without an investment. They tried this in the .com bubble, right? They had nothing. They had no infrastructure. They had no clientele. They had nothing. But they would just buy a web domain and they'd be like, "Look, we got a great idea." And that's the equivalent of this. This is sort of the analogy here. Is that, you know, they started this and it got built up. It was this big bubble and a frenzy, and everybody wanted in on it. And because nobody understood it really. And the economists that were smart, they saw it. They saw it coming, and they were like, "No, this is a bubble and it's gonna pop. And when it pops, it's gonna pop hard, and a lot of people are gonna lose because there's a lot of people that fall for this stuff and they want to make a quick buck and they want to get rich quick or whatever. There is no get rich quick. I mean, some people you'll get rich quick by cheating somebody else out of their goods, but that's it. But investment takes time. You need to have capital. You need to have the machinery to do the thing or whatever the capital ends up being. But you need to have that, and you need to have a clientele, and you need to have a product. Jeez, every time they have some scheme, this is like the NFTs did the same thing. You're not making anything. It's just here comes the Bitcoin bots. Just because I mentioned NFTs right then and there, they come in, earn money on the crypt. Get in there, you'll get. Yeah, exactly. Actual production, and that's something that this whole consumer-based economy has just been a big scam. The internet villain, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Let's get those globalists out of parliament. That's the goal here. That is the plan. And that's my main mission and what I'm working on. Speaking of bad economies, this leads to some really, really fun and interesting advertisements. Here's a good one that I saw someone shared with me in the Discord. This is an actual advertisement by a pizza company. Pizza. Inflation is on the rise. Gas prices are off the charts. Mortgage rates keep getting higher. But there's some good news. Introducing, loud music, fixed rate pizza. No matter how bad inflation gets, your pizza stays the same price. Locked in 1 year fixed rate. Extra large 4-topping pizza for $16.99. That's a great marketing strategy. I gotta hand it to them. For 1 year, they're gonna make sure they keep their prices at $16.99. Marketing strategy, because it's funny. I'm even sharing it for free in my live stream. This is not an ad. This is not paid for. I'm actually sharing this. I'm not extraordinarily a fan of pizza. I think it's subpar, but great advertising. Great way to get people to notice what's going on at your pizza joint when they're afraid of what's going to happen to them in the economy. Love pizza. Who doesn't? I love pizza, but I love a good pizza better than a pizza. Not gonna lie. Sorry, Clyde. Can't contribute money. Don't make much, but subbed, like, shared, and watching. Yeah, man. No, I'm not. I don't know. Never do that. I never do that shill where everyone's gotta pay up. But no, definitely appreciate it. Thank you so much. And Windsor has the best pizza. We're gonna have some people competing in the chat here for who's got the best pizza now. You started it. You definitely started it. There are some good pizza joints in Windsor because I grew up there, but the best pizza? I don't know. I still think my favorite pizza place that I've been to is Amada's Pizza in Toronto. There's 2 locations. The one on Queen Street. When I lived there, nailed it every time. I don't know if it's still good. But Naples Pizza in Windsor. It's good stuff. I like that Napoli pizza, but I also like pan pizza. So that in an independent joint is actually kind of hard to find. You got Pizza Hut. You got your Pizza Hut, but it's still fast food pizza. It's not like the best pizza. Paul's Pizza in Calgary. If I'm ever in Calgary, I'm going to check that out. Tonic Pizza, Crescent Valley, BC. I should check that out. Capital Pizza in Edmonton. Grandma's Pizza. Sault Ste. Marie had one called Mrs. B's Pizza, and it was to die for. Is anyone in the chat from the Sioux? Does anyone know if Mrs. B's Pizza still exists? Because Mrs. B's Pizza was great. Treehouse in Windsor always had the best wings. Okay, wings in Ontario are fantastic. They're just kill it. You want pizza wars? I love Hawaiian pizza. Hate me. Go ahead. I love this stuff. Okay, here's my story about Hawaiian pizza. I don't know what the percentage of people that like Hawaiian. I'm gonna put a poll in the chat and then I'll tell my story. So, do you like Hawaiian? You like Hawaiian? How do you spell Hawaiian? Hawaii. I think that's right. Pizza. Here we go. Do you like Hawaiian pizza? Yes, no. Ask your community. So I'm gonna put the chat in here. We're gonna talk about some more pizza stuff, and then I'll tell my story once the poll's ended, because I want to find out How many people actually say that they like Hawaiian pizza or they do not like Hawaiian pizza? I'm gonna let that go for a little bit. Hawaii with a hard N. So there's okay. People hate Hawaiian pizza, but when people hate Hawaiian pizza, they don't just like not like it. They hate it. They absolutely hate it. And I don't understand the hatred for Hawaiian pizza because I like Hawaiian pizza. It's really good. But honestly, I prefer pepperoni and pineapple. That's my thing. So, I mean, it's similar to Hawaiian. It's not ham and pineapple, but yeah, pineapple and crickets. That's that World Economic Forum pizza that they don't serve there. They serve it to you in your pod. Get in your pod and eat your cricket pizza. I'm in for Hawaiian pizza. Yeah, Hawaiian's great. Still, pepperoni and pineapple is my favorite. That's like, mwah. Or but I mean, it's not my always go-to. But if I'm gonna get a couple of pizzas, that's gonna be one of them. Jalapeno and pineapple sounds amazing. I'm gonna try that now. Now I'm gonna try that. As long as if they're not pickled jalapenos, I like serranos, like fresh serranos. I want to try that on a pizza. Serranos and pineapple, because serranos are spicier. But pepperoni, mushroom, black olive, thin crust sounds great. Sounds great. Fun fact: Hawaiian pizza is the default pizza in the Philippines. No way. See, Filipino people got it. They got it right. Because pineapple does belong on a pizza. But, okay, so here's locust pizza with pineapple. Yummy. Kidding. Go to green olives, man. The bomb. I love green olives. Get the Mediterranean pizza. Or if they don't have a Mediterranean, I like to get the veggie lovers, add Italian sausage. Nothing says a good vegetarian pizza like Italian sausage. Here we go. How do I end the poll? Okay, I'm going to end this poll. So where are we at? Where's the poll? Do you like Hawaiian pizza? 67% says yes. 32% no. 132 votes. Holy cow. Wow, that's great. All right. Too many comments, Clyde. Yeah, there are too many comments. Hate black olives, green olives always. I like both olives. I like all olives. I even like the oily ones that are smushy from the petri dish at the grocery store. You know the area where everyone sticks their fingers in. It's just a petri dish. They don't have them anymore since COVID. But yeah, Mediterranean, big thumbs up. So okay, here's my story. Because obviously this crowd gears more towards the Hawaiian pizza being okay, but everywhere I go, I have haters, like absolute haters. And I think that it's this like weird social cue. When so many people hate Hawaiian pizza, people also say they hate Hawaiian pizza when they don't. And this is why I think this is true. And maybe because this is anonymous, people are voting, yeah, I like it. But if they were in a group of their friends, they'd be like, no, I don't want to explain to people why I don't like why I like Hawaiian pizza. They're just going to look at me and get me to explain to them why I don't want to hear about it, right? So I'll be at a party, or I'll have a party at my house and I have a bunch of friends over. I'm like, okay, ordering pizza, who wants what? And you'll always get, the individual is like, anything but pepperoni, or anything but pineapple. And then everyone else will chime in, yeah, pineapple doesn't belong on a pizza. And it becomes like the narrative, right, for the next 5 minutes. Okay, people like Hawaiian pizza. They don't like pineapple on a pizza. Whatever, that's fine. So I'll order, because I want a slice or two of it, right? So I'll order like a quarter of a pizza with pepperoni and pineapple. And I've wised up to this, because it'll come and I won't even get a slice because it'll all be gone first. And then the next time I'll order like a whole pizza of just Hawaiian pizza amongst a bunch of other pizzas. The Hawaiian's always the first to go. It's always the first gone. Always. Always, always, always. The Hawaiian pizza is the first one to go. When the Hawaiian haters say that fruits don't belong on a pizza, remind them to nix the tomato sauce next time, least they be hypocrites. Yeah, that's absolutely right. Yeah, tomatoes are not a vegetable; they are a fruit. But yeah, no, this is the thing. So many people will say, "Yeah, I'm ordering pizza now, Clyde." It's dinner and dessert. There you go. I like anchovies big time. Me too. I like anchovies on a pizza. I think it's fantastic. I've never done pepperoni, or I've never done pineapple and anchovies at the same time. That'd be a mix that I can't say I've tried. Pizza for breakfast, even better. It's good. Leftovers from that party. But yeah, there won't be any Hawaiian because it's all gone. Because everybody tells you they hate it, and then you're like, okay, well, I'll have a whole pizza to myself, and I'll have leftovers the next day. Nope, you'll get one slice when it shows up, and you're like, fresh, new one. You get the first slice. You'll come back. There will be nothing left. Nothing left. You need the hot peppers too. You mean the little pepper flakes? I love those things. They're great. Thing I learned when I was in Japan though is every pizza joint sells pizza, and every pizza joint sells pizza, but every pizza joint, when they sell their pizza, they include green Tabasco sauce. It's it's the Tabasco that's made from jalapeno peppers instead of cayennes, and it's so good. It's not very spicy, but it's really, really tasty. It just tastes great on pizza. Did you ever have American pizza in Japan, with canned corn poured onto it like we do? Are you joking, Patrick? Is that something that people in America do? Because they do that in Japan. They have like corn and mayonnaise pizza. I thought it was weird. But yeah, mayonnaise on a pizza? Nope. Not my thing. Not my thing, but that's a thing that they do. Corn on a pizza is fine. I like corn on a pizza if it's not with mayonnaise. I put Frank's red hot sauce, or Frank's hot sauce. Yeah, Frank's is good. But try the green Tabasco. My favorite on a pizza now. It really is. Zero crime in Japan. Everyone knows kung fu. yeah. Everyone knows Chinese martial arts in Japan. That's maybe. Just finished ordering my mayo barbecued chicken onion stuffed crust, and I just said mayo's not good on a pizza. Maybe that's good. Alfredo pizza is the bomb. Everybody's talking pizza now. Everyone's talking pizza. Anyway, yeah. So great advertising. Fixed rate pizza. I hope you got yourself a fixed rate mortgage, because here comes the interest rates. That's a thing. Oh boy. Now, what happens when you have good advertising? You have good reviews. You get good reviews, especially when your advertising works and you have good product. Clyde, do something sarcasm. Yeah, it was weird to see. Just like we made ramen with cooked eggs and confused Japanese exactly the same shape. The same. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, corn on a pizza. I thought it was weird. It doesn't taste bad. But the mayonnaise is no good. The mayonnaise corn, couldn't do it. The ramen with cooked eggs. I love ramen. Holy cow, ramen in Japan is just crazy. It's not the instant stuff you're thinking of. Pay real cash, Turdo Pizza. No, that would be getting it on loan. That'd be getting all your pizza on loan and buying pizza for the entire world, even people that aren't hungry, and just then throwing it in the ocean. That would be the Trudeau pizza. Anyway, I'm trying to segue to this bit about reviews. So we all know if you get a service, you can leave a review. You can do this same thing for apps. You can rate Amazon. You can rate even Instagram or Facebook or any of those apps. You go to the App Store and you can leave a review and a rating. But what some people noticed on Twitter was the amount of people that left positive reviews for a particular app. Here, let's have a look here. Ontario Doctor on Twitter writes, Airbnb has 84,000 reviews on the entire world. Uber has 104,000 reviews in the entire world. ArriveCan has 504,000 reviews just for people coming to Canada? Guess the government is purchasing fake reviews. Are you paying attention yet? So we got images here. Canada, 507 ratings on their app on the Google Play. Is this the Google Play Store? Yeah, one of the stores. So here's Airbnb, 84,000 ratings. They're at a 4.8, which is quite high for that many ratings. But here we are, 4.5 with 507,000 ratings on the app. Most people are begrudgingly downloading this app and then hopefully deleting it from their phone immediately. I honestly, I'm actually going to be doing a show with Roe coming up from the war campaign. We're going to be getting together again. He has been doing a bunch about about ArriveCan app and how people are just refusing to do it and getting in the country scot-free. I mean, if you're Canadian, obviously permanent resident. For visitors to Canada, I don't know if that's working. I doubt that's a thing. Do you have to leave a 4.5 star rating or above to enter the country? That's funny. That would be funny if that was the case. I wonder if it's part of the program, or it's got like a bot that does it for you when you download the app. I have no idea how this is happening, but there's like speculation that bots are doing this, right? But yeah, I'm gonna have Ro come on the show because he's been covering about a lot of this stuff. Even 5-star ratings are bad reviews. But yeah, he's been covering a lot of what's going on with this. Some getting advice from some law enforcement, I believe, and yeah, obviously he's not a lawyer, so he's not giving you legal advice. But he's been reporting on what's going on with the ArriveCan app because it's just egregious. But this is just scummy and scammy. Every time I talk about money, thank you, Unanimous Gamer, for getting on that in the chat. You mentioned bots, and they come into the chat. They get right in there, earn Bitcoin or whatever, some scam. But yeah, this is a thing that I meant to share with you guys, I believe last week, because that's when it came out. But I wanted to give you information on that. But hey, all of us are dealing with the ArriveCan app. If we're leaving the country and coming back, either we're dealing with it or we're finding ways around it, or just avoiding travel at all costs because we don't want to deal with a overreaching government over here. But here's a tweet. Just how many people are the taxpayers on the hook for on this little holiday? I see more than just his family, and that's what's going to cost the plebs. This is from CB Fixes All on Twitter, tweeting out Kean Bexty. I always get that wrong. I pronounce that wrong. Video has emerged of dirtbag Trudeau and his family getting off to a private Air Force jet, not wearing any masks. The entitlement of Trudeau and his family, uneffing real. Meanwhile, moms in Canada are thrown off planes because their kid won't mask up. Now, I don't know about any particular cases. I'm guessing Kean is talking about a particular case that's occurred where a mom and her kids got thrown off of a plane because the kids are, kids are kids, right? Kids are not gonna keep a thing on their face. You gotta be kidding me, right? Like, you think that's gonna actually go right? Oh, sorry, I missed that. Max Power, $10 super chat. Thank you so much. Kay, gotta run. My little Harley Quinn is having her 8th birthday party tomorrow, so I gotta set up. Have a great weekend, Clyde, and much love. Props as always to the chat and community. You guys are the greatest community out in the ether on the internet. The right kind of poutine would even get the dead to upvote the app. No differently than how we do in the States. For those Americans out there, have you ever tried poutine? It is delish. It is to die for. Trudeau charged us $200,000 in jet fuel to go on vacation. That's insane. That is insane for somebody, and good on him for calling him out for being a dirtbag. And it is uneffing real what's going on here. We have Trudeau, who's racked up more in jet costs. I tweeted this out a little while ago. I retweeted it. It was a good one, and I've lost it now, haven't I? There was actually a statistic that showed how much he did just in the month of July compared to other Canadians. They were just trying to, live life. No, I missed it. But basically, it was like something like 80 times the amount of the annual carbon footprint of a Canadian individual he did himself only in the month of July. Like, it's just astronomical. And he's going around and he might say, well, I'm in a foreign country, I don't have to wear a mask. Well, you write the laws. What are you doing in your own country? You're the reason. You're the only reason. Your cabinet, like, how many people? 8 people are the reason why we still have to wear masks on airplanes. I went on an airplane recently and it was just absurd. They actually said at the beginning of the flight, if you don't wear your mask through the whole flight, there will be authorities waiting for you on the other side. That is the threat that they give you at the airport. This is a thing. Clyde, 26,000 cycle. I don't know what that means. But, yeah, holy cow. Authorities waiting for you on the other side. But here you are with your family coming out of a private jet on the Canadian taxpayer dime. This is just it's hard. It's hard not to get mad. It's hard not to get mad and get frustrated at the absolute douchebag and his just crime-ridden family, seemingly, allegedly. Gotta cover my own tail here. Anyway, let's move on. Let's move on to some other stuff that might be more chipper and more fun, more hilarity to ensue because of. Yeah, I hear you, Clyde. Right? It's just hard not to get mad when you're talking about Trudeau because and Freeland. Freeland is just she's especially yeah. Like I said, she's got the twitches, I believe, because of the demons trying to escape. There's a lot of demons in a little body. It sure is. You don't want to offend anyone and get sued for 50 mil. Nope. No, I don't want to offend anyone and get sued. I'm also not going to claim that there's any crisis actors. Sorry. I love Alex, but man, did he mess that one up. But I don't want to eat bugs. Well, you're on the right side. You're on the right side of people who don't want to eat the bugs. Speaking of which, we're kind of segueing a little bit in that direction. Here we go. This is from CTV News Montreal. Grocery shoppers should use judgment, not best before dates due to serious food waste. Expert. Based on expert. Expert said that. Expert. While UK supermarket chain plans to remove best before dates from nearly 500 products to tackle food waste, Canadians, aren't yet ready to make those changes. That's according to Dr. Sylvian Charlebois, a food distribution and policy professor at Delahun's University in Halifax. Packaged fruits and vegetables, including grapes, peppers, and lettuce, will be sold without a best before label in Britain's Waitrose supermarkets as of September. A decision that is a bit too bold for Canada, says Charlebois. Canadians prioritize food safety over food waste, Professor said, adding that about $2,500 worth of edible products will be thrown away by an average family this year. Not this family. I'll tell you what, we don't waste food. That's just not something that happens. It goes in the compost, like our own personal compost, or it goes into, there's some, we just generally don't eat your food. Like, eat all the food that's made for that time, and or it goes into leftovers. I don't know where they're getting these statistics from, because that's not from this family. Leave a comment. Put a comment in there. Let me know. Does your family throw a lot of food waste out? We don't. We don't waste food, because that's just wasteful. It's not I mean, that's just gluttonous. People can't see or smell test their food. Yeah, so I'm going to get into this. The average Canadian wastes about 79 kilograms of food per year. Not this Canadian, I'll tell you that. Surpassing the average American by 20 kilograms. So Canadians are worse, they're saying, than Americans when it comes to food waste. That's surprising. According to a report by the United Nations Environment Program with an E, with the two M's and an E. That's very European. That amounts to 2.94 million tons of annual household food waste across the nation. Wait a second. Why are we talking about food waste from homes only? Why are we not talking about food waste from grocery stores, food waste from restaurants, food waste from all these places? And I have a personal gripe about this, because I remember hearing about this from an individual that I had who was a lefty vegan, and he was like, so many these corporate blah blah blah, it's corporate, everything's corporate. These corporate grocery chains are wasting so much food and yada yada, and I'd hear about it all the time. Blah blah blah. So I look into it and I'm like, well, okay, well, why are they wasting food? Why are they wasting food? And why is it getting thrown into landfills or whatever, all this stuff? And it's not going to a better cause, because they're saying, well, they could be giving it to the homeless shelters. They could be giving it to local farmers to feed to the livestock, even though he's vegan and he doesn't want whatever, right? But it's all going to waste while people are starving. And, well, people aren't starving around the world, not yet. People in a lot of places that were traditionally starving have been working their way out of poverty, thanks to you guessed it, the market economy and global exchange and trade routes opening up and free markets. That's been a very good thing for the world. But here's the problem with a lot of these: the waste that happens. Well, where is the waste coming from? It's coming from greed, and not from the traditional thought that you're going to hear about from your local Marxist. Not that kind of greed. Not the fat capitalist that wears a monocle and a top hat and eats young children or something. I don't know. The ones that don't exist, right? The greed that I'm talking about is litigious greed. People who want to have a free lunch, and the people who are happy to take that free meal from the grocery store that's just a little over date, it's just out of date. They're happy to take those freebies and then claim that they got sick and then call a lawyer. And then you got a lawyer that's really happy to sue that company and get a settlement for his client, because he cares nothing about the health and safety of his client. That's what he cares about. He doesn't. The commission is just a bonus for the the thing that he's actually going for. Now, see what's happening, and most of the food waste that happens in the modern world is happening for litigious reasons. It's happening because people sue other people. And here's a perfect example. When I was a kid, one of my first jobs that I ever had, it sucked, but I worked at a Tim Hortons. And I worked there at night, and I would make the muffins, and I would proof the just the back end stuff. So I would work in there, and then at the end of the night, at just after midnight, we'd have to do a changeover of all the donuts. The donuts would all have to go into a bin, and then you're gonna call me the muffin man now? That's funny. So I did it for a few months. It was as a youngster, and working nights sucked. But I asked the managers, like, why are we throwing it in this bin and then making sure we lock it? Like, they had a full-on lock, had to go on the door, and they're like, we can't give it out. And I was like, well, there's homeless people. We could just give it off, or we could give it to the farmers or whatever, feed the livestock. It's still good food. They're like, nope. Somebody sued a Tim Hortons a couple of years ago, and we used to give it to, there was like a local pig farmer or whatever, and they just give all the donuts, and then the pigs would munch them all up. But nope. They can't do that anymore, because somebody was like, I got a sore belly because of a donut that they picked out of the garbage. Apparently, they picked it out, the dumpster dove for a donut, got a sore tummy, got a lawyer, won a bunch of money. This is our problem. Why are we going after the individuals? We're going after people in their household, telling them, hey, you got, you know what I mean? Now, but we've got so much food waste on the corporate level, but we can't just roll back the litigiousness and roll back this idea of suing people over, a sore belly. Jekyll and Clyde sore belly. That's right. But we can't roll this back. Can we write some legislation to say, you know what? If you get a freebie, you're SOL, straight up SOL. You took the freebie, go for it, and just let people take risks in life anymore. But no, we have this like lowest common denominator thing, because one person in a million people might be litigious and try to get a free lunch and try to injure themselves intentionally. This stuff happens all the time. For my friends in Windsor, they all know Sam Bernstein. I grew up watching the commercials. Have you been injured in a slip and fall? Call Sam Bernstein. I'm your personal injury lawyer. I listen to that every day, and that's from Detroit, but I listen to it every day. It was on the television, and it's all these people suing everybody over other people's. Nobody's taking responsibility for any of the stuff that they do anymore. So anyway, getting into this food shortage, because I'm going on a rant here, because I think honestly, the litigiousness is what's causing a lot of food waste. We would have a lot more philanthropy in the food industry, giving to homeless shelters, giving to farms, giving to livestock, giving to all this stuff. It would happen way more if it wasn't for scummy lawyers and scummy people out for a free lunch. That's my opinion on that. But let's get back to this story. The average Canadian wastes about 79 kilograms of food every year. How much is 79 kilograms? Do you know how much you weigh? I mean, I'm about 70. I'm just under 79 kilograms. I'm like 76 kilograms. So the average Canadian wastes about my body weight in food per year. Now, where is that waste going? Well, they're going to make some claims that it's going to landfills or stuff like that. But if they're considering that waste, that's actually not a lot of waste. That's not a lot of waste. That is the equivalent of what might go into a compost bin and then be composted and then turn into soil and then be used for another farming cycle. Might use for your garden. So 79 kilograms. I mean, it sounds a little excessive in a year's time, but really, 79 kilograms of what? Of what exactly are we talking about? But so they go on to say that we need to. The answer to this is to not buy food that is past its expiry date. Well, that would why? That's not average Canadian throwing stuff out then. You're talking about the grocery stores not selling the product and then wasting it. And then the grocery store, again, going back to the litigious nature of our society today, we're not giving this stuff to the homeless. We're not giving this stuff to charity. We're not giving this to farms. This is going right into the landfills. So there you go. 79 kilograms is 174 pounds. It's less than 200 pounds of food waste. But how is not having expiry dates going to change how much food waste comes out of the household? No, they're targeting how much food waste is coming out of these grocery stores. That's what's really happening. And this is a thing that's going on in England, that they're actually 500 products. They're going to remove the expiry dates on them, because a lot of people will go by the expiry dates. And I'll tell you what, everyone's guilty of it. You go grocery shopping, you see the milk, you're gonna go right for the latest date. You're always gonna go for the latest date. You're gonna go for the packaged meat. You're gonna go for the one that's packaged latest. I mean, that's the way people work. That's the way people work. But that's not the answer to our food waste problem. It's just a Band-Aid to go over it. Now, I thought this was hilarious. Liberty Bella, the answer is allow stores and restaurants to donate food close to expiry. It's BS. It's illegal for stores to donate it here in Michigan. But if you pick it, if you pick it up, I can donate it. Yeah. But that's the thing, like, it happens and then people sue. It's the problem. It's the problem. But this is funny. So Canada Proud tweeted out this article, and that's where I got the article from. Can't afford Trudeau's prices. Just eat past the best before date. This his allies in the media suggests. Now, I mean, one thing that they could do is just make it so that they can sell it past that date. I mean, this was who actually brought on the legality of having products pulled off the shelf after the best before date. Who's the one who decides the best before date? I don't know. Instead, we just got to buy it after the best before date. Interesting. Anyway, so Jen on Twitter says, this was in my related story reel right attached to this article. And this is what cracked me up the most. And this is an article. A Quebec City professor hopes to promote edible insect farming. Attached to this article. So don't buy so much food and eat the bugs. Eat the bugs. Here we go. There it is. Won't have to buy the bugs. They're everywhere. Stir with a fork. But why don't I just play this? Because it's just too funny. It killed me. It killed me. As long as as long as they don't play music, they might do the copyright thing.
A Quebec City conference looked at what some people consider an unusual addition to a dish. Researchers from over 20 countries gathered to discuss the nutritional benefits of bugs. Kelly Gregg reports.
For some, it's a delicacy.
No, it's not.
And for some,
I beg to differ. For who is this a delicacy? Somebody tell me that this is a delicacy. This is like a thing. I got nothing better to eat. Like, yeah, 1 million people around the world eat bugs, they say. And it's like, yeah, because they're hard up. Like, get out of here. Get out of here. Anyway, moving on.
Adventurous diners in Quebec City, it's more of an experience.
It's really good. I really like it. It's like traditional food, but there was something you can.
It's like traditional food, but with a little something. There's a little Schwab in there. There's a little Schwab for everybody.
So it's good, but it's also nutritious.
The mealworms gives an extra crunchiness to the food, so it's amazing.
No.
Chef Joseph Yoon has been using insect ingredients for years and says it's not quite like having a fly in your soup. Insects are an alternative protein that most people don't even notice.
They take a bite and they're almost like, actually, it tastes like food.
Actually, it tastes like food, he says. Come on. Actually. I gotta hear that again.
Notice.
They take a bite and they're almost like, actually, it tastes like food.
Okay, it tastes like
Grand
food.
Marché, he's serving up cricket cheese puffs, mealworms and lentil beans, and a riff on a Quebec classic, poutine with crickets. Bugs are big business in some parts of the world. Laval University just announced it's creating a chair in edible insect production. Robert Koch has been researching insects as food for 4 decades, which goes over pretty well at dinner parties.
Yeah,
People
right.
thought it was a stand-up comic.
He says bugs are extremely high in protein. A study in Food Science and Technology Journal found
That's why our food eats them. You know, I mean, it's always been a joke, you know, like I'll hold the salad. That's what food eats. But no, like birds eat bugs and other animals eat bugs, and then we get that protein by eating them. Like, this is just how the world works. I hate to give you the birds and the bees talk here, but holy, these people.
insects also supply fat, vitamins, and minerals at levels comparable to other meats. Koch says it could be a solution to solving hunger issues.
Like I said, we've had hunger issues in the past, and the things that have gotten us away from hunger in our world has been the marketplace, the market economy. I don't like saying the free market because there's such a stigma to that, and I don't say capitalism because that's a communist word. Like Karl Marx actually coined the term communism, so I just call it, coined the term capitalism. I call it the market economy. It's what it is, because we all like going to the market, and the more local our markets are, the better they are. We all know this, but of course there are things from around the world. But anyway, the market economy is the thing that has brought people out of poverty and has been eliminating hunger for decades and decades and decades like nothing else, including crickets.
2 billion children in the world that are short of protein, so they have, they have problems developing properly.
Add to that a lower environmental cost. Bugs eat materials that are often considered waste, don't take up wide swaths of land, and are relatively easy to harvest.
They have a very small environmental footprint in terms of water usage, in terms of their feed efficiency, in terms of the energy that's required.
As for the flavor,
they're very nutty in taste.
Most insects have a very
They're very nutty. Oh my god. Oh god. That guy knows his stuff. Holy cow. But this is
neutral taste, like crickets, for example, or mealworms don't really have a lot of taste. But for example, termites are delicious, and eggs are delicious.
let's just say some here are putting their taste to the test. Kelly Gregg, CTV News.
We've actually prepared.
okay, whatever. You got all your bugs. I'm not gonna eat I don't want to eat the bugs. So here's the thing. It's funny because, you know, I was talking about this in the Discord just last weekend, and we were talking about how like some of the stories seem like they're a bit of hype, And it turns out that the Calgary Stampede thing, they had the hot dogs with crickets and the hot dogs with mealworms. Apparently every year they have like some sort of like dare item where it's like, yeah, try this weird thing. There was like scorpions one year, and they sold out of the scorpions. So it's been a long standing thing. So like hyping that up with the eat the bugs seemed a little bit like, oh, okay, is this a bit sensational? But no, this is a push. This is a push where we're getting it from all fronts. They have the world's largest cricket factory now in London, Ontario. The World Economic Forum is telling us to eat the bugs, and they're pushing it. They're making a push. We've got famous actresses getting on there saying that they love eating bugs. We've got university professors, we got the news media every week telling us new ways of why we should be eating the bugs and loving it. So I'm kind of on the page that this isn't sensationalism. This is straight up they're trying to they're conditioning people and getting people used to the idea of eating bugs, or at least supplementing in the interim for bugs, until we can get rid of all of the pesky cattle farmers. And yeah, Agenda 21, there you go. Well, Agenda 2021's turned into Agenda 2030. I'm praying God sends lightning bolts to the cricket factory to burn it down. Clyde, do something. Yeah, I wonder what Clyde thinks. Wait, what? Yeah, I wonder what Clyde thinks. Yeah, you tuning in just to find out. Man, I'm done hearing about the bugs, honestly. Not gonna lie to you. But we just keep hearing about it. We just keep hearing about it. But food waste is a problem that we can solve. And I really get fed up with hearing from these people that are advocating for really, really stupid things. In my opinion, obviously. Advocating for really stupid things because the other thing is so wasteful. Wasteful. You hear about wasteful. Things that are being wasted, garbage, waste, all these things. What's more wasteful than the way we recycle things in Canada and the way we deal with our garbage? There's no good reason why we don't incinerate our garbage in Canada. There is no good reason why we don't do it. The technology is great nowadays. Incinerators virtually have nothing but water and carbon dioxide coming out of their pipes. And they produce energy, the thing that we're all worried about not having enough of. Why is it that we're not, especially with modern catalyst technology, these new incinerators, it's the best thing that we do. Instead, what we do is we separate our garbage. Depending on what province you're in, we do it differently. But out here in British Columbia, you separate it between the blue bin and the garbage bin. So you got this big blue thing, and you put all this stuff, and then there's a bunch of stuff you're not allowed to put in there, including like glass, which is recyclable. You can recycle glass. Instead you got to go to a bottle depot for that. Aluminum cans, you go to the bottle depot for that. It's the bottling can depot, I suppose. Yeah, plastic recycling is a scam. You're not really getting anything good out of it. It's a very expensive program for sorting out plastic and doing nothing with it, essentially. Spawny420 with a 420 super chat. It has to be 420 somewhere. I'm not high enough. We're talking about plastics and garbage. Yeah, so here's the thing that we like to do in Canada. We like to take recyclable materials, and because we don't have facilities to actually deal with those recyclable materials, we send them overseas on barges that, yes, you guessed it, run on diesel. Those diesel barges pull it all the way across the ocean to places like the Philippines, where they look at our garbage and they go, you didn't sort it right, there's too much organic material in here, send it back. So then they send that barge all the way back to Canada. And then Canada's like, oh, what do we do with it? And then we got all this stuff in Canada, which is our old garbage, we just spent a bunch of money on diesel and burnt a bunch of diesel, which we're supposed to be cleaning up the environment. That's why we recycle anyway, right? No. So what do? Well, now we have to get it incinerated because, well, it's the only thing we could do with it unless we put it in a landfill. So they send it off to a country that has an incinerator, usually in Asia. Again, with a diesel barge. That's our methodology here in Canada. Yes, it's nuts. It's nutty. And not in the mealworm sense, like we heard from dude in the last article. But yeah, if we're gonna get more efficient with anything, why wouldn't we first get more efficient with our garbage management? We should really get more efficient with our garbage management. I am not opposed to efficiency. I think efficiency is great. It's amazing. But let's hit the spots where we're not eating bugs because we're trying to make protein more efficient. Let's get into the area where we're actually, managing waste better. We're managing things that we actually like to have around. And then, farmers have been working at making cattle farming much more efficient. Yes, cattle can only produce so much meat, but that's a trade-off we can get elsewhere. And we can, we don't have to have 2 steaks every dinner, but I mean, that's a personal choice. And that's what freedom looks like. It doesn't look like a bunch of people being forced to eat bugs and recycle their garbage in the Philippines from Canada. And that's just my opinion. Maybe we should worry about some other things to get efficient about. Anyway, what are we talking about here? This is just unreal. I can't believe what pills we're forced to swallow by our own media and forcing this stuff and getting us on this page about things. So we were looking at, I don't know if you tuned into today's video. I didn't get a lot of coverage. And what I mean by that is normally I'll put out videos and you can gauge how many people have viewed it because you can look at the numbers. But I know for a fact right now, not a lot of people are talking about this. And this is a thing that I found very interesting when I heard about it on Jordan Peterson's podcast with Michael Yon. And if you haven't seen it, watch it. Go watch it. Michael Yon's interview is about an hour and a bit long. Hard hitting, gets into what exactly is going to be happening in the near future. He's an intelligence guy. Definitely watch it. He's talking about food security and famines and actual pandemics that can take place during famine times, like typhoid and things that are real concerns. But he mentioned it twice in the entire interview, and that was a particular place. And here it is. Pave paradise and put up a parking lot. Those famous words from that famous hippie song, which that famous hippie has grown up to not really care much for that sort of thought anymore. Here it is. The plan for the Dutch farmers' land. Still think this is about the environment? Still think this is about nitrogen? No, let me introduce to you the tri-state city. And this is a plan. It looks like a tiny subway map, doesn't it? It looks so small until you look at the bigger picture. This is 3 countries in Europe being swallowed up, and one entirely. The entire nation of the Netherlands being swallowed up in here with an entire giant city here. Now, this is the plan for Europe. If you look here, this is the entire city that they're planning in this giant area. This is the metropolitan of London, Greater London area. It dwarfs it in size. Now, it doesn't make much sense to take some of the most fertile soil on the planet, if you're talking about efficiency, and cover it with concrete and a city, a giant mega city. Yeah, mega city 1. There you go. This is the plan. This is what they want to do with the Netherlands and why they're trying to force these farmers off their land. Now, the farmers are telling you this. The farmers are saying this straight up. Clyde, how do we avoid getting rounded up? Where can we go? I don't know these answers. I don't know what the plan for North America is, because they're doing the same implementation in North America as well in Canada. They're doing the same implementation for the nitrogen policies in right now in Ireland. So Ireland's the latest to make the World Economic Forum plan 2030 agenda when it comes to ditching farmers. But this is a real thing that's in the works and is being planned. Now, Dutch farmers will never fall to the World Economic Forum and the globalist agenda. So this is a resist campaign video, which of course I can't play the audio on it. But they're savvy to this idea of this tri-state city as well, because right here in the video, there's an excerpt that shows it. The Netherlands being torn down for this tri-state city. And this is the plan. And the farmers know what's up. And I want to talk to more of these farmers. I wish I knew how to speak Dutch. But hopefully, good thing to know. A lot of them do speak English. There's a lot of Dutch people that speak English. But it would be good to get in touch with some more of the people that are fighting against this movement to do this. So I have this website, tristatecity.nl, and you can Google Translate it, and it just translates to tri-state city. 45 million people they plan to have in this giant city. Sustainable network model for 100 small and medium-sized cities in the Low Country. And at the bottom, you can't see it. P.S. This model has no relationship whatsoever to the nitrogen policy of the Dutch government. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. So it is insane. It's insanity. But this is the idea of these individuals. Yeah, here's that part. P.S. The model has no relationship whatsoever to the nitrogen policy of the Dutch government, which, yeah, we just don't, we're not buying it. But these are the city planners. These are the spurgy people that like to come up with city planning. And here's a little interview from an excerpt from Smart City. This is DW Shift, the YouTube channel. Smart City. How do you live in a smart city? Future smart city projects. And these people, they go to college. They don't learn anything about agriculture, about societal changes. They don't learn anything about anthropology or any of that stuff. They're just like, Spurgy, I'm gonna build a smart city. I played Sim City or whatever. I know what's going on. And they come up with these ideas, and then people like Klaus Schwab and the Grand Q-tip, Cotton Schwab, he's over there at his World Economic Forum, and they're all discussing how they're gonna implement this on the world's most fertile farmland, where what is it? Netherlands is the second largest exporter of agricultural goods in the world. You're gonna shut that down? You're gonna just shut that down? The second largest exporter of agricultural goods to the world. But here we go. Check out Spurgy McSpurgitson.
An expert on smart cities is Jonas Böhm. He is a researcher at the Institute for Technology Management at the University of St. Gallen and has published a book with guidelines for cities that want to become smart. We wanted to know, how do I make a city smart? And why?
We want to improve people's lives. That's how I would summarize the goal of a smart city.
In order to do this, it's important for citizens to be able to properly explain what kind of city they'd like to live in.
I judge how we're going to improve people's lives by how I would like my life improved. I would like to be by the train station so I can watch all the trains go by every day while I sit in my pod and eat my crickets. You know, like, these are the spurgy people that come up with these plans. We don't want these in charge. We don't want these people in charge. Yeah, come give us some good ideas or whatever. Maybe we'll implement a thing or two. But you're not planning a city, my man. You're not planning a city.
That's the starting point, and we can begin designing a smart city based on those demands.
Imagine you're the mayor of a city and want to turn it into a smart city. You'd have to consider the following. First, you need to make your city interconnected by adding sensors that collect data, for instance, to cars and streetlights, to be able to...
You notice they didn't say anything about human beings first? just throwing that out there.
Regulate traffic, or to measuring stations stationed throughout the town that measure pollution levels.
Oh no. Just like in the video game, my smart city will work very good.
The smart city is usually a combination of the different urban systems that we have. For the most part, that means mobility systems, housing systems, administrative systems, energy systems, education systems, and so on.
All we have to do is first destroy all that fertile soil and farmland and kick all the farmers off of their lands.
Anything affecting citizens in their everyday lives can be assigned a digital shadow.
That doesn't sound creepy at all. Anything that affects the citizens' lives can be assigned a digital shadow. Okay, anyway, he gets more into his spurgy game. And he's just like, no wonder boomers think millennials are a joke. Dude, this guy's not a... Well, maybe he's a millennial. I don't know. But this is the thing. But here's the deal, right? These people that come up with this idea, this is how they envision it. They envision the cities being these beautiful metropolises that are clean and always kept nice, and everybody loves it and everybody wants to be there. Jeannie with a super chat, $6.99. Love every one of your streams and never miss one. Of course, I'm subscribed. Thank you for all you do. Love your laugh. Thank you so much, Jeannie. Thank you so much. But yes, these places, they look so beautiful. They look so clean. They look so nice. Isn't that how all the spurgy people live? Well, yeah, maybe all the spurgy people. That's just, you know, you keep your things clean. Everything's in order. Everything's in their spot. Everything goes there. But that's not how life works. That's not how human existence is. That's not the way the human dilemma is. And it is a human dilemma. And there are things such as scarcity. We have this law of scarcity in our world, and we can't just ignore that and just say, oh, okay, well, you know, we're just gonna get rid of scarcity because we have AI. And that's the Klaus Schwabian way of looking at things. That's the grand Q-tip solution for everything. You know, Karl Marx couldn't figure out the price mechanism, and 100 million people died last century because of it. Oops. Oh, hey, guess what, guys? We got AI this time. Let's do it again. Let's figure it out. It'll be super awesome like this, and everybody will keep everything in order, and you know, nobody will like not want to go with the plan. It'll be perfect. Everybody's gonna go with it. No, the reality of the situation is gonna look a lot more like Judge Dredd 2012, something like this. This is a super city where they have super mega city blocks, and it's grungy and gross, and it's just horrible. The Klaus Matrix. Yeah, that's it. The elite need to go. Absolutely. This is the thing that we're learning now, is now that things are decentralizing, with decentralization, the first thing we don't need is the elite. We don't need the rulers anymore. We can run market economies without people. What do these people do? They get in the way. They get in the way of the market economy. Well, you know, farmer wants to buy nitrogen. We're not allowed to buy nitrogen anymore, but in traditional thing, you have to go. You want to go to the States to buy your nitrogen for the farms in Canada. Well, no. We got a middleman. Who's the middleman? I don't know. Some guy in Ottawa. Why? What importance does he have? None whatsoever. We don't need these people anymore. Now, there is roles for government, don't get me wrong. I'm not an anarchist, but this is what we're going to end up with central planning. We're going to have elite mobs of police that have all the rules because they're under the Quarantine Act and they don't abide by the the Charter of Rights and Freedoms and our Constitution anymore. They just go by the Quarantine Act because we've been in an emergency for going on 50 years because of a common cold. Or we might end up looking like a bit like Blade Runner. And here we've got the city of Blade Runner is loosely mocked up based on the imagery of Hong Kong, because Hong Kong's so packed. It was this massive, vibrant place that had a giant economy for no other reason except one thing. People could freely trade in Hong Kong, which is an absurdity everywhere else. It was a port where you could go and freely trade. Like, what do you know? If everybody from around the world will gather in this one little place, a little tiny thing that's like 90 miles or something crazy, small, and build giant skyscrapers, and all of China is left barren, maybe there's something to this free trade. Maybe there is something to it. But gamers need to go outside. Yes, go touch grass. Go touch grass. Honestly, it's just a thing that you just need to do no matter what. I'm not against gaming, but like, do your gaming, but every once in a while, go touch grass. Yeah, we have a touch of Blade Runner with those projection big screens. Yeah, right. So, but this is the thing. So this is what, and I think these artist renditions of what a metropolis would look like are more accurate. And this is coming from me. I used to live in Japan, and I lived in Tokyo, and I love Tokyo. Tokyo's a great city, but the only reason why Tokyo is decent and decently clean is because of how good Japanese people are at not littering and not doing that stuff. You're just not going to get that kind of compliance from most people in the world. It's just not going to happen. And it's not, this isn't to say that Tokyo is the best. Tokyo has its problems. There are neighborhoods that stink to high heaven all the time throughout the summer. There are places that are just busy, like literally places that look like the thing I just had on the screen. Oh no, it's gone away right there. Like places that are just on underpasses that are stinky and grimy, but it gives it character, and I'll give it that. But it's not the utopia that people believe is going to be a thing. You have to let culture is everything. I love that, because you have to let culture happen. What happened in China? They got rid of their culture. They destroyed it. Mao's revolution absolutely destroyed their entire culture. It's going to be so hard for the Chinese people to get back what they had. And what did it leave? It left this void. It left this massive void that is turned into some ugly things. And I'm not saying that Chinese culture is ugly. There's a lot of beautiful, vibrant things about Chinese culture, but there are a lot of bad things that have come about because of the Cultural Revolution. There's a lot of people just not having a sense of culture. These things have to come from something, and what it does, it breeds a lot of nihilism. It breeds a lot of issues that China is going to have a long time to address. And I hope the best for the Chinese people. I hope they get rid of the Chinese Communist Party and move on and have a vibrant, beautiful future for themselves. Absolutely. And I always welcome people who want to live as Canadians from China to come over. So like, for people that want to ring that bell, you're just not going to win that one with me. But definitely, cultures need to grow out of something, and they need to develop over time. You can't just like Klaus Schwab reset the whole world and here we go. We're just gonna become this new thing. That's what they did in the Soviet Union. Tried to throw religion out the window and get rid of it, and well, that didn't work out too well. Clyde, you should be a university professor. They wouldn't hire me. Not with my views. Not in this day and age anyway. Maybe if we got a new type of university. Like I said, it's the zero, the all or nothing rule, right? They all have to be woke or none of them can be woke. If there was one university that came out of the woodworks and they had good professors that would teach good things and actually teach skills for life, and people immediately would start hiring from those institutions. And then because of that, people would start sending their children to those institutions. And then because of that, all the other universities would follow suit. That's what would happen. That's absolutely what would happen. I agree with that sentiment. It's not my own idea. I got that from Brett Weinstein from Dark Horse podcast. They're absolutely brilliant minds there. So definitely watch their podcast. Clyde, we need some serious diversity, equity, and inclusion training. I almost want to do a stream where we just watch those things and go over that. That would be awesome. I hope that will happen. It will happen. It may take time. It may take time. You don't see this diversity and inclusion stuff happening in China or India or other countries for that matter. It's just happening in the Western world. The plan is to tear down the West. That's the actual idea behind that. But that's where we're at. Man, I wanted to cover so much other stuff tonight. I was gonna go over the line. We saw that. If you haven't seen it, go watch my video from today. I went over all of this stuff. There's this line is literally a city that's an entire line. It's supposed to be taller than the biggest buildings out there, but a whole bunch of miles long. And they just expect 9 million people to live in this thing in the middle of the desert. And yeah, of course, another more spurgy images of like this perfectly clean place that nobody's gonna hate. Nobody's gonna fight with their neighbors. Nobody's gonna get drunk and pee on the sidewalk. You know what I mean? Like, this doesn't happen in the spurgy world. It doesn't. It just whatever. You send out the go zap them and stick them in a cage. I don't know. I don't know what they actually think is gonna happen when real human beings get put into this plan. You could take any of these plans. I love Starship Troopers. Anyone that's seen the movie, you're gonna get the wrong idea. So the original book, I haven't read through the whole book, but I've read about the book. And originally, apparently, the book was an allegory. And an allegory is like an analogous way of like having a metaphor for a thing. So the whole idea of Starship Troopers was the back leading allegory behind it was that socialism doesn't work. That's what it was, in a roundabout way, was to tell people that socialism doesn't work. It was the first sci-fi book ever written, I think. But in the book you get the concept. In the movie you won't. But in the book, the idea behind it is that there's this other race of creatures, but they evolved intelligently from insects. And insects, because they have a hive mind, a hive mentality, they were able to do the socialism thing, and it was successful for them. But then they were going around the galaxy or whatever, causing havoc, because socialism. But they were successful at doing it and implementing it in their own world because they're insects. But we're apes, so it's not gonna work with us. Tammy, thank you for the super chat. $5 super chat saying thank you Thanks, Clyde. Love the Friday Live. I love the Friday Lives too. And I always end up seeming to cut right into it. We're at 2 hours. Like, holy cow, I don't think I can go any longer. I wanted to talk about a few other things, but I just don't think I'm going to get to it tonight. But we can always talk about it another time. The bugs eat you. Yes, in Starship Troopers. That's the idea. But always remember that socialism doesn't work, and it never will. At least not with human beings. At least not with human beings. And they'll come along and they'll try to call it something else. This new idea, it's no better. I mean, I think it's along the same lines as the Peter Joseph. If you don't know who that guy is, he's a walking thesaurus. He'll tell you what he wants you to. He'll tell you something, but he won't say it in the words that you know. He'll say it in words that are synonyms for the words that he's trying to tell you. We all know the type. Someone who thinks he's smart because they use big words, even though you could just communicate. The sign of an intelligent person is someone who can actually communicate with a large audience rather than hiding behind giant words and pretending that he's really smart in order to feed the endorphins. Anyway, Peter Joseph is a guy who advocates. You may remember him from a bunch of there was a bunch of videos way back, early 2000s, called the Zeitgeist, and it was a lot of it anti-religious stuff. Got into some ideas, but he got really into this. I like Peter Joseph. I believe he distanced himself from the Venus Project, I think. Well, he really got himself into the Venus Project because it was this idea that, it's socialism plus robots. It's essentially what it is. Same as Klaus Schwab. It's this idea. And Peter Joseph, he got a lot of his thoughts, his anti-capitalist thoughts, like a lot of anti-capitalists or anti-free market thinkers. They failed in the marketplace, and then they thought, well, the market sucks then. I hate the market. I failed at it. So, I mean, it's unfortunate that, people who could be, great minds get stuck in this isolated ideology of hatred towards success. People who have been successful. Don't hate people for being successful. Envy's a thing. It's fine if you can channel it in the right ways, but just it is a glib way of looking at the world. Anyway, so the Venus Project, obviously some of you know the Venus Project, but it was Jordan Peterson versus Peter Jordanson. That's funny, but the idea of the Venus Project was essentially Klaus Schwab stuff. It was we need city centers, and then AI is going to run everything else, and we don't have to worry about the market economy, because once AI takes over everything, then we'll be in a post-scarce society. They actually say that. They actually say these things. Post-scarcity society. We're never, ever, 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 ever going to be post-scarcity. It doesn't matter how good our technology gets. We'll always have infinite wants. There'll always be infinite wants and only a finite ability to get those things. That's just a rule of nature. You cannot break those fundamental laws of thermodynamics. It's just a thing. Zeitgeist shook a lot of things up at the time. Yeah, and I watched them. I watched the original. I think it's like 3 parts, and then it went off into whatever. Anyway, I'm going into another tangent. What I like to do after these streams every Friday is I like to go hang out in the Discord and have a chat with you guys. Why don't you come hang out? We always do this every Friday. We go hang out, have a couple of wobbly pops. I don't do that on YouTube because I know there are certain rules with terms of service and yada yada. People skirt around it by putting paper bags on stuff, but I just wait until I get to hang out with you guys. I do my rants and holler, and I do all this stuff for about 2 hours, a little over that this week. But hey, let's do this. Let's go hang out in the Discord. There's a link in the description down below. If you're not a member of the Discord, just hit that link. It's free. It's free to do. If you are a member, though, you'll be in a particular role, and we're going to come up with some perks for that role coming up. but I'm already wobbly. Well, come on over, come hang out. If you're a member of Discord, you can click the link. That's the link to our server. If you're not a member of Discord, click the link. It'll set you up. It'll set you up. It's in the link in the description of every video that I do. Come hang out. It's my favorite way to give back to the community, to hang out, bring people together, get people communicating with each other, because this is what we should be doing. We should be communicating with each other instead of fighting with each other on Twitter, even though that's fun. It's really, really fun sometimes. But if you're on Twitter, what you have to understand, Twitter, you're not speaking to people. You're shouting at, or you're making fun of a chihuahua behind a chain link fence. That's what you're doing when you're posting on Twitter. Come to Discord where you can actually have conversations with real people. We like to hang out, and we're going to have a couple of those wobbly pops. Anyway, that is the live stream for this Friday. We'll see you guys in the next video or over in Discord. Keep on trucking.